Alright, it has been a minute since I got back to my Mechanicus game. Between the release of Street Fighter 6 and starting up a a multiplayer campaign with my buddy Pink, the channel has been pretty busy with other projects for a while. And the last time I played this Mechanicus campaign, I had a technical issue that resulted in me losing an hour of footage. So I kind of was spurned off for a little bit. Luckily, I don't believe that all that much changed between now and the end of the last episode that went up. If anything, actually, I might have deleted the save for that lost footage and simply gone backwards. I'm not for certain, because I could swear that these cities were bigger. Nonetheless, if memory serves, what happened in the lost hour of footage was a dragon, one of those weird chaos dragon robot things flew up out of Blackheart Core. And I realized, wow, I really need to start focusing on getting some more armor-piercing units out and getting some more vehicles out there. So that will be a priority for me. However, looking at the resources, I'm doing pretty good for resources. I'm going to want to stay on top of that. Energy is going to be a problem in the future, though, as is loyalty. So I'm going to try and get ahead of that and prevent either of those things from becoming issues. Loyalty I should deal with sooner, because I can deal with having a bit of a energy deficit, losing energy every turn, but losing loyalty will just get worse and worse and become more and more of a difficult problem to solve. Okay, let's see. Did I have any immediately available solid armor-piercing units? The Cerberus Sulfur Hounds are an anti-infantry, so they're not going to be it. Electro Priests increase their damage every time they kill an enemy unit. That won't... I don't have the ability... I'm not going against big swarms of cheap units, so wouldn't be able to do that. Taroxy Sterilizers. I remember those guys are amazing at dealing with crowds, but I won't be dealing with crowds. Increases influence output. Are there any armor-piercing... The Dune Crawler probably is a pretty solid anti-armor unit. Let's see. Is there anything... The Castellan is probably a pretty solid anti-armor unit. I should probably either go for the Castellan or the Dune Crawler. The Dune Crawler, I believe, was a bit more anti-air, so probably better to go with the Castellan. It's unlikely I'll find any Castellans to domesticate out in the field anyways. Okay, let's see. Output Cam 8 is ready to put in its first loyalty building. Excellent. Helican is still just putting along there. I'm making more Scutari to go ahead and get to the front lines, to sit alongside the Magus there. What is that? It's a Manipulus we have there, right? We're working on our first Dominus now. We're going to order another set of Scutari Vanguards. I am making ludicrous quantities of food off of very few food buildings. So, a infantry-based army is definitely a solid possibility. Let's see here. We can also put in another building in Helican, but we have run out of minerals, so we need to get to work on producing more minerals. So, we will get to doing that eventually. Let's see. We're going to want a mineral tile. So, we're going to want to expand here to this mineral tile. What we're going to do, then, is we're going to tell it to expand to this tile, and we'll set up a mineral industry there. Are they called minerals? No, they're called ore. I'm just going to keep calling them minerals. Okay, we've got the Castellan research. That's excellent. Now we can proceed onwards. We'll increase influence and output. Let's see. The Hammer of Wrath, that does increase it for... not a lot of units I actually use. So I'll go with the influence output increaser. Now, in my turn... Okay, the Scutari are ready to push on up. Here in Helican, let's see. We're going to need to put in a ore-producing building, so we will get to work on that. We are going to be going into an energy deficit once the loyalty building in Output Cam and the ore building in Helican are finished. But that will be a problem to deal with in the future, probably in the distant future, because I can afford to lose on that. Let's see. Well, let's put the Manipulus here in the middle of my formation. There we go. Helican has finished its first ore building and doing well for it, but we will be putting in another one immediately afterwards, as that is quite good. Let's see. However, I am noticing we don't have a population cap building here in Helican. Now, during the hour of footage that I lost, I was deliberately avoiding increasing my population cap to see if it was effective, because population seems like it's more trouble than it's worth, but no. While the game does not really display the effect the population has on your output, it does have a pretty significant downward trend on your numbers. It gets worse and worse and worse. The more you let it get out of control. So we'll be expanding to this tile and putting a population cap building on it. Let's see, Output Cam 8 has got its first loyalty building up. And we will be pushing on outwards. Oh, let's go ahead and put in another loyalty building just to get out ahead of this. Increased production is not too terrible. Okay. Helican is expanded. They are ready to put in a population cap building, so we will get to work on that. That is going to take up 2 energy rather than 1, so that's going to more so encourage me to go ahead and get to work on establishing my energy industry in Output Cam 8. We've got a third Scutari and the Tech Priest Dominus coming out of Helican. The Dominus, I believe, has buffs. He picks up research points for everyone who dies in his vicinity. No, he just outputs influence and research on his lonesome. That seems really good. Because the influence alone, hey, what's his upkeep? 4 food, 8 influence. So every Dominus you have is effectively trading, once you get him to level 6, every Dominus you have is effectively trading 4 food for 4 influence, on top of being a pretty strong hero unit himself. Interesting. So, let's see, he can also take Scryer Scroll, Lord of the Machine Cult, which only buffs vehicles, notably, and Wrath of Mars. For now, we'll take Wrath of Mars, we'll take the Scryer Scroll, we'll take all of them, even though I don't have any vehicles yet. Helican is ready to build another set of units. A Cybernetica Datasmith would be pretty great. He heals, so we will do that. And we will order another Scutari. There we go. And for our next bit of research, let's see. Ryzen Savagery, I doubt I'm going to use that. Hammer of Wrath, I might use that. The Ballistarius might be a good unit once I get my first vehicle building up. I don't know. I believe it might be somewhat of an armor-piercing unit, in which case I should definitely be looking into it sooner rather than later. I'm probably going to want a Cybernetica Datasmith just to tear up these weeds outside of Output Cam 8. They're getting in the way. Okay. So, I'm probably, I've got priorities in both cities that need to be dealt with. But I would like to, in Helican, at some point, get to work on a vehicle building, just to see the Ballistarius. Let's see, we need to get to work on dealing with our energy and influence deficits. Output Cam 8 is a pretty great energy city. Helican will be a pretty great... Actually, it stands to be a pretty great influence city as well. One thing at a time, though. Let's see here. Helican is ready to put in, let's see. They've got a population cap building put up. But we're also going to want to see, let's see. We're going to want to put in another loyalty building, as loyalty is going to be more of a problem as the game goes on, especially now that I've put in a population cap building. Helican's population is going to start going up, and as a result, so will their disloyalty. And the Dominus, we will go ahead and have him sit up here. He may be primed to deal some damage to the Chaos Marines if I can push up soon. Let's see, Output Cam 8, we are ready to go ahead and get to work on a energy building of some kind to quickly deal with our energy deficit. So let me get into that. Now it occurs to me I have not put in a second Artisan Constructorum in Output Cam 8. That is something I'll have to deal with after this energy building. Let's see, our research, for our next research, let's increase the growth rate of cities, because that is evidently something that will develop to be a problem pretty quickly in Helican. The population necessities have outpaced the growth, because I ignored population cap buildings for so long. Now let's see, we're going to also want to put in an influence building up here in Helican to temporarily deal with our influence output issues. Now, energy I don't expect to be a problem in the late game, considering I've got 2 Promethium Relay Pipe luxuries available to me. Which means the output Cam 8 and Helican will later on be turning out large quantities of energy, and I'll probably be able to afford a substantial Air Force. Which, let's see, how far am I from the Tier 3 city expansion tech? I'm pretty far. So, output Cam 8, neither city will be too crazy for energy output, but once I get there, it'll be absurd. Which, let's go ahead and get out ahead of that. No, let's go ahead and pay out the money to get output Cam 8 its second Artisan Constructorum. I will not go for a third because in the past that has been a mistake. And it's better to put out buildings that are more useful. Let's see, we've got another set of Scutari coming out here, as well as a Data Smith. It's unfortunate that I'm trapped in this little corner here and have very little capability to go outwards and take out any outposts for myself. That is a loss of resources that is quite unfortunate. But it is something that I will ideally be able to start doing once I take out Blackheart Core. Okay, they moved up a unit of cultists for some reason, and they're getting shredded by my Scutari. This may be the start of an engagement. I guess we'll see. I do have the Mechanicus here to heal the Scutari. The Dominus also is ready to take any fire. I believe he is quite a bit tankier than your standard Scutari. The Data Smith will move up to clear out these wires and then ideally get to healing. Helican has put in an influence building, so we are not at a complete influence loss, though we are losing quite a bit of it. Well, not losing quite a bit of it, but not gaining very much of it. But at the moment, I would rather prioritize vehicle buildings on the potential that the Chaos Marines will be a problem sooner rather than later. So, let's see. Vehicles are produced from the... What is it? The Subcloister? No. The Manufactorum Cybernetica. The Manufactorum Cybernetica produces a little bit of everything, so it's not really anything that I need to be worrying about putting on a specific tile. Let's see, as a result, I can put it probably right... there's not really any tiles that will be great for producing loads of anything, but I'll put it right here because this provides minerals. So, well, no, I should probably go for the one with 4 building slots. Well... It's unlikely I'll need more than the production of 3 vehicle buildings, so I'll go for the one with less building slots. A lot of Chaos Marines coming out of there. And they're taking the Marcus Lanesh, but that kind of gross yellow color scheme makes them look more Nurglish. Okay, ideally they won't be a problem in the future. First Cybernetica Data Smith is out and ready to go. Let's see. Only a 5 mineral and 5 influence cost to delete some of these wires, so I'll take wire weed, so I'll take some of that. That will save me time in the future and output Cam 8. They are moving up. That is unfortunate. I would prefer for there not to be a fight here. At least until I'm ready and packing more anti-armor tools than I've currently got, which is none. We're doing a fair bit of damage, but this is Chaos Marines. Taking a fair bit of damage in kind. Let's see, I'm going to need more serious siege gear than what I've got here, that much is for certain. Boy, he's got a unique, he's got a... And he looks like he's mildly constipated and deeply uncomfortable. Which I suppose is one way of taking Chaos, at the end of the day. Okay, and goodbye, Chaos Marines. See you in the warp. The Mechanicus can go ahead and drop one of his big heal actions. And with a cooldown of only 1 turn, there's no reason for me to ever use Master of the Machines instead of Tech Adept. Such a weird distinction. Excellent. Those Scutari are back in working order, and about to see reinforcements. The Cybernetica Datasmith, I don't want to go too crazy with eating wireweed, because that does cost money. At the same time, I find it annoying, so I'll go crazy. Let's see. Helican, we are ready to put in our first vehicle building, so we will be doing just that. The Manufactorum Cybernetica, which puts out a decent, well, a very mild supply of 3 resources, so it won't be that big of an economic hit. I mean, just the 1 influence means it's already paying for the cost to maintain the tile it's sitting on. That Chaos Lord wants a piece of this. That is unfortunate because he is a hero, which means he is going to take very little damage from my Scutari. That is going to be annoying. And he probably has some variety of Chaos marks that will make him quite a bit tougher than I would like to deal with. Let's see. The Chaos forces may be moving their units behind, or moving their units up front to try and attack me right now, which I would prefer not to be the case, but the AI, I certainly cannot blame it for believing that I am a threat right now. Let's see. The Tech Priest Dominus, he is largely a melee character. He does have the Volkite Blaster, but that's about it. Let's see. We will nonetheless move him up just a little bit to take some free shots at the Chaos Lord. There we go. But we're going to have to soon replace one of the Scutari on the front line with the Dominus. The Dominus is just going to be the better frontline fighter, if memory serves. The Datasmith is here. He can contribute to healing efforts. If memory serves, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago I recorded the last Mechanicus video. But if memory serves, I was having some difficulties with the Chaos Marines in terms of healing. Oh, Obliterators. Excellent. Yikes. Yeah, Obliterators are one of the most disgusting units I could see here. That is unfortunate. And they have the Mark of Slaanesh, so they can just hit and run. That's unfortunate. Let's see. This Scutari is going to have to peel back to the back lines. Let's see. And we will go ahead and have the Manipulus heal him by quite a bit. The Dominus can take a shot here. I'll choose to go with Wrath of Mars ahead of time. Oh, the Dominus can also heal people. That's nice. Okay. Now, this Scutari is going to have to go ahead and, let's see. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this Scutari move here. So these Scutari can back up and get healed by the Datasmith. Excellent. And these Scutari are going to move up and take some more shots at the Chaos Lord, who will definitely be running away. It's unfortunate that I'm not able to finish him off, but if I can get him to leave me alone just for a little bit, that would be quite nice. I don't know, maybe the radiation will finish him off, but probably not. The radiation of the Scutari, I mean. Let's see. Helican, output cam 8, yada yada yada. Let's see. We can produce Cataphron Destroyers. Excellent. Anti-armor, infantry. That is exactly what I want. Yes, sir. Okay, I can hear the sound of units moving. Okay, that was the Chaos Lord running away. Good to know. Okay, we're going to tell everybody here to just sit and have a good time doing nothing. And let's see, let's go ahead and tell this guy and this guy to hold position so they don't give me annoying notifications later on. Output Cam 8 has put in its second Artisan Constructorum, which has put us at a mild energy deficit, but I don't care at the moment. I would currently prefer to prioritize things that would be more immediately helpful to me. So, as a result, let's see, we will be going for... I can always use more minerals. I can always use more influence. Let's see, I can always use more food. I can, for just a single turn, go ahead and expand into the Grox pasture. So I'll do just that, because that will give me increased food output for only a turn of time out of output cam 8. After that, what I will go ahead and do is I will prioritize that, and then I will afterwards prioritize expanding into a tile that is not so great. This tile is not so great. And then I'll be putting population cap buildings on that tile that is not so great, because output cam 8 has hit the population cap. Let's see, Helican has put in its first vehicle building. Excellent. Let's see. The Iron Strider Ballistarius or the Castellan. The Castellan, we will probably want to take. It does cost energy upkeep, which is a surprise. I thought they costed mineral upkeep. The Ballistarius is evidently valuable for its speed. Can I look at the unit encyclopedia entry for it? No, I cannot. Okay, well, let me just pull it up here then. Let's see. For the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Iron Strider Ballistarius, let's see, has autocannons, which are not really armor-piercing. The Castellan, however, has good armor-piercing, does it not? The Phosphor Blaster, that's solid armor-piercing. It's nothing really crazy, though. That is unfortunate, but the Castellan is a very solid frontline unit that I can use to hold the line very steadily against anything Chaos can throw at me, so I will go ahead and commission one now. Let's see, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and order a second Manufactorum Cybernetica in Helican. And then I will end my turn. Okay, they've got some berserkers out and about. They're vibrating a little bit, as is Dawn of War tradition. We've got another unit of Skitarii out and about. Let's see. Helican, we will hold off on producing infantry just for a moment. What do the Cataphron destroyers... Let me look up. What do the Cataphron destroyers cost in terms of... Their upkeep is 4 food. Okay, and there's also the breachers. That are specifically anti-vehicle. Okay, I'm going to hold off on making any more Skitarii then, as I'm going to want to produce Cataphron destroyers with that food instead. Okay, we will be putting in a population cap building and output cam 8. Okay. Still going to keep skipping that production in Helican. We're only a couple turns away from being able to produce Cataphron destroyers, so there's only so many times I needed to skip turns here. Got our first population cap building and output cam 8. Excellent. We'll be putting in a second one. No, we won't. We'll do that later. We'll be putting in an energy production building and output cam 8 to prepare ourselves for the energy we will be spending on Castellans to give ourselves a more solid front line than Skitarii and a Manipulus. Now that Chaos Lord is probably going to shoot for hitting the Manipulus first, which would probably be better, honestly, because the Manipulus can probably take damage better. Or no, the Dominus, excuse me. Nope, he's going to hit the Skitarii. I guess he can take off like half the Skitarii's health and they'll do less damage then. That makes sense. Okay. So we are going to need... Right, we want some of the Skitarii to stand a little further back so that these Skitarii can run away. Let's see. You, Mr. Dominus, will be going ahead and taking some hits at the gentleman in front of you. Let's see. Would you be able to finish him off? Well, I guess there's no way of previewing how much damage you'll do after a buff, so it's irrelevant. I'll just proc the buff. And then go in and take some hits. There we go. That's quite a bit of damage. And we will be finishing him off with the other Skitarii. Excellent. Goodbye. Okay, the Tech Priest Dominus has picked up a level. We'll be investing that into another point of Wrath of Mars, so that the Dominus is even more of a fighter. And let's see here. The Manipulus we will choose... Let's see. Can the Datasmith heal the Skitarii back to full on his lonesome? It appears so. As a result, we will instead choose for the Manipulus to pick up a level in... Let's see. That's not a very great ability, the Data Blessed Auto Sermon. By the point that you get a level 6 Manipulus, unless you're going nuts with Barbarian hunting, which probably can happen quite a bit as Mechanicus, I suppose, as I was locked in a little corner of the map, but many Mechanicus players won't be. So I suppose it's better for those situations, but by the time I get any Manipuluses at level 6, I'll probably have researched everything I really want. Let's see. If I'm really that dedicated to research, odds are I'm going to pump a lot of points into research to begin with. Okay. Now, let's see in here in Helican. We're going to be putting in... We put in a second vehicle building, and we'll be putting in a third one now as well. So that we will be getting further and further output. Because let's see. The Manufactorum Cyberneticas are already putting out 1 food, 2 ore, and 3 influence. And it's a vehicle-producing building. It's not really supposed to produce any kind of useful resources, and yet it is. And the more of these I put in, the faster I can get Castellans and the following vehicles that I will get in the research tree. Okay, now these guys are going to duck the Overwatch and do a lot of damage to the Skitarii. But it does not matter. I have reserves and I have the ability to heal in ludicrous quantities. So other Skitarii will be stepping up to do quite a lot of damage themselves. Here we go. While the Dominus will do what hits he can. He's not quite as impressive against a crowd as he is against individuals, but he's still pretty solid. Okay. Now, the Manipulus here, let's see. The Cybernetica Datasmith can probably do all the healing he needs to do. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, the Skitarii will be healed to full by the Datasmith, so that gives the Manipulus the ability to do what he wants. I probably should have applied the galvanic field buff before taking the shots against the Chaos Marines, but I can't do that, so I will instead just have the Manipulus provide some pithy little shots with his pistol. Yeah, right then. All these Scutari will be hanging out here, ready to file into the breach as soon as I get some heavier firepower in to go with them, and perhaps something tankier like the Castellan to take some more hits in their place. Let's see, Output Cam 8 has got more, we need more energy, so I will put in another energy building. And I am already, just from 2 energy buildings, producing 14 energy. It feels good playing the Mechanicus, man. They are disgusting. Alright, let's see. Here in Helican, we are ready to produce our first Cataphron Destroyer, and we will be doing just that. He will take quite a while to produce. We need to put in more infantry buildings, but that is something to worry about in the future. I'm going to also make sure to research the Basilicon Archaeoptera pretty soon. Let's see. How many flying units do I get? What unit do I get from the Basilicon Archaeoptera? Because I want to see, do I have any flying armor-piercing units? I just need armor to not be something I worry about here, going against Chaos. Let's see, we have the Transvector and the Stratoraptor. Now, the Transvector, let's see, and the Stratoraptor. The Transvector comes with heavy stubbers. Not armor-piercing, they're just throwing a lot of bullets at you. The Stratoraptor is built for actual fighting. It carries the Phosphor Blaster, with it's a good amount of armor-piercing. Let's see, what do I get? The Stratoraptor is the one that I can research. Okay, so I get the Transport Flyer just by default, and then I have to research the Combat Flyer. Makes sense. The Flyer that's built for carrying units, the Transport Flyer, would actually be pretty useful itself to use in the future. Okay. Perhaps to do a little bit of a flanking maneuver with whatever units I can get into the Chaos Marines' rear, their flank. Let's see, we've got our first Castellan. Excellent. These boys, I don't know about this guy's capability to deal with armor. It's not bad. It's certainly not bad. But the Castellan, the virtue of the Castellan is that this guy can take a lot of damage. He has, let's see, 24 health, 8 armor. That's pretty great. Plus, he has the Feel No Pain, so he takes 33% less damage from all kinds, and the Repulsor Grid, so he takes 17% less missile damage. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Alright, now let's see. Do we want to put out any more vehicles? I would love to order another Castellan. Let's see. I can afford the energy upkeep cost. I don't care. That is great. Helican is going to need to soon put in a population cap building, though. Let's see, Output Cam 8 has put in its 3rd energy building. If we were producing another Castellan, we're going to need another energy building to support that. Okay, Helican is about to produce its 3rd vehicle production building. There we go. So let's see, here in Helican, we're going to next invest in a population cap building, as that is a current problem the city is having. And, yeah, with a population cap of 13 and a population necessity of 17, that is not great. Which, let's see, let's keep pushing on ahead. I do want to start working on a serious influence economy in Output Cam 8, so I will start looking into that next. We're doing alright for loyalty, so for the moment I'm going to prioritize influence. Okay, we've got 2 Castellans. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's see, do we want to commission a 3rd one? No, not really. A Iron Strider Ballesterius. I don't believe that was fitting any of the purposes I desired. That would be a good unit if I was trying to rush outposts, but I am landlocked, and the one bridge... Excuse me, I am not landlocked. I've got loads of coastline all around me. But I have only a connection of a small, thin land bridge to the mainland. I do not have a lot of flyers or other such units to transport my units to the land. And so the ability to take outposts for me has been very much hamstringed, particularly because the army that is guarding that land bridge is one of the heaviest armies that is the most difficult to deal with in the early game. Now let's see here. Output cam 8 has expanded. I want to put in a influence building here. I have not been using the power surge ability, which is a very good ability. Come to think of it, I might want to go ahead. What are my most productive tiles here? Let's see. What is the most productive tile in any of my cities? I wish there was a view for that. I'm putting out... Let's see, the Manufactorum Cybernetica is putting out a decent amount, but let's see. Do I get more loyalty from the power surge? Yes, I do. Oh, in that case, I probably want to be investing into loyalty then with the power surges. So, let's see. Helican is putting out generally more resources than Output Cam 8, right? Because Output Cam 8 is specializing a lot more in research and food. No, let's go ahead and use the power surge on Output Cam 8. Let's see. There we go. And we will not see the benefits of that, really, until next turn, I believe. I'm keeping an eye on them. Yep, that was an increase in all regards. Excellent. And that's only going to get better with time. Okay, you, Mr. Castellan, are going to get pushed up to the front line. And the Scutari will be making room for you and your pal. So, let's go ahead and do that. The Dominus, I'm not really certain if I want him to back off. Oh, I see. We're going to be dealing with another Chaos Lord. Excellent. I love these guys. Let's see. He's picking up a mutation of some kind. He's picking up the Mark of Slanesh. That way he gets to attack the Manipulus or the Dominus and then leave. He's not even going to attack the Dominus. He doesn't want anything. He does not want any of what I'm selling. Do not blame him. The Castellan is a scary piece of tech. It is one of the most frightening neutral units in the game, and it's a pretty frightening unit for any army in general to have. Okay. Going to be sitting a lot of units to hold formation, hold ground, whatever. Let's see. Output Cam has put in its first influence building. That is excellent. We will be... What is our next priority? More energy would probably be a good idea. More minerals would also be a good idea. There are several good ideas to have here. However, the more influence I get, the more I can spend it on heroes and power surges. So I'll be doing just that for the moment. That may prove to be more economically wise in the future. In addition, it will give me the ability to buy various items to put on my heroes, which are quite good, but require a decent influence income to get going. Let's see, Helican here needs another... We put in another population cap building. We could stand to have another loyalty building. So we will be ordering just that. Now let's see, we've got to move on to the next chapter of the next tier of the research tree. We will be looking into the Archaeopter Stratoraptor, as it is a solid flying people killer. Though if I get a considerable front line of Castellans going, I might be able to go ahead and push in on the Chaos Marines sometime soon. Which would be exciting if I can open up the world to me. Being trapped in my own little corner for a little while has been mildly annoying, as I know there's a world out there waiting to be explored. And this particular game, I did actually set out with the intent to explore the world. So, that's been mildly annoying. Okay, let's see. We'll be putting in more energy buildings in Output Cam 8. Okay, you want some, you get some. Wow, that was not a lot of damage, Mr. Castellan, sir. I do wonder if the Chaos Marines are facing greater pressure from the outside. They are directing their units somewhere, after all. Okay, the Manipulus will be going ahead and handing out a Galvanic Field buff to the Castellan, sure. And the Castellan will be taking some shots at those Warp Talons. While the Dominus, let's see, will also be using the Wrath of Mars to gain to his own damage output, and then jumping in to take some shots here. This Castellan will be jumping in as well to take some shots, and we will apply Hammer of Wrath for literally no damage increase. That's unfortunate. There we go. Alright. And it's the Chaos Lord's turn again. How much damage does he do to the Dominus? Fair bit. Fair bit of damage. Okay, now the Dominus, though, he can hit back for a fair bit as well. That's not quite as much as I would like to hit back for. Okay, so what we're going to do here, then, is we are going to take shots back at the Chaos Lord. And, yeah, I'll take it, I'll take it. I'll be having, then, the Mechanicus provide his wonderful healing efforts to heal the Dominus. There we go. Now, Output Cam 8 is ready to start work on another set of power generators. And Helican is ready to start work on what? What do I want to put in Helican? I've kind of forgotten what plans I have here. Let's see. Hell, I could always use more minerals. At the same time, I probably should be looking into a airport of some kind sometime soon. However, I do not have the minerals, so I should be focusing on mineral production if I am lacking the minerals to meet my ambitions. Okay, Mr. Chaos Lord would rather throw himself at the Castellan instead of the Dominus. The Dominus has shown his capability to take that damage and keep on swinging. And speaking of swinging, let's go ahead and let the Dominus get the final hit here. And there goes another Chaos Lord. See you in the warp, pal. Okay, and we will be healing the Castellan. Excellent. Oh, because of that, Chaos Lord had the Ichor Blood ability, I took damage from hitting him. That's annoying. We'll be taking the Wrath of Mars ability. And Mr. Castellan will be sitting on his ass. Oh, I see! So Tech Adept's the Tech Adept ability's cooldown of 1 turn is actually... I figured it was... Okay, so it means you don't get to use it the turn after using it. Okay, I thought 1 turn cooldown was so negligible that it was outright just simply, like, you can use it once a turn, because it's only got a 1 turn cooldown. But no, that's not the case. That makes sense. That makes more sense. Okay, Master of Machines we will go ahead and use on the Dominus. Wait. Oh no, I've already used the Mechanicus' actions. I'm an idiot. I was not paying attention. No, it's exactly what I thought. I can go ahead and use Tech Adept as many times as I want. I was not paying attention there. That was impressive levels of stupidity for me. It seems like the Dominus is actually tankier than the Castellan. At least against most of the units that the opponent is throwing at me. It might be smart to just throw out Tech Priest Dominuses as a front line backed up by Mechanicus to heal them. Which sounds silly. Okay, nonetheless. Okay. Whoa, oh, he can level up. Okay, that's what the Mechanicus is notifying me about. Let's see, we've already upgraded Tech Adept to the maximum level. He can heal anything to full in a single turn. Anything short of a Titan. And even a Titan would only take him 2 turns. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Electroshock. It's got a range of 1 tile. I can put a point into it just to have it, sure. Which, I wonder, can it get enhanced range if I put more points into it? I'll keep it around just to have it. Let's see. Output Cam 8. Never know when it'll be useful. Let's see. Well, we could use more food, but we've got a tremendous wealth of it to bank on. Energy is something we could stand to bank on more. Influence is something we could stand to bank on more. Let's see. Here in Helican, though, I'm curious about... Let's see. Let's put a power surge on the Loyalty District of Helican. There we go. And that will probably be seeing some increases in numbers coming out of there quite soon. Let's see. We want to probably get to work on a loyalty building as well as a population cap building in Output Cam 8 soon. So we will go ahead and get to work on a loyalty building there. Oh, good lord! I hate those things! I hate them! I don't like them! How much damage? He does not do much damage to the Dominus. Wow! Okay, let's see how much damage we can do to him in return. Not a terrific amount. It's gonna be kinda just cherry poking each other here. Cherry poking? What am I saying? Just gonna kind of be... I don't know. We're just gonna be poking each other for a while. Let's see. Does it spend an action to use Scar Skull? It does. That's unfortunate. In that case... Let's see. Why am I on fire? Oh, I'm taking damage over time from that stupid dragon robot. Alright. We're gonna be popping the Wrath of Mars for a considerable damage increase. And taking out our frustrations upon this Helldrake. There's only so much damage we can do, but so much damage is better than none. And let's see, the Manipulus probably could have stood to use the Galvanic Field buff before I took some shots, but I'm not really that worried. And we'll be going ahead, let's see. The Dominus only has 2 points of health missing, so we will just go ahead and use the weaker heal on him for a laugh. We don't have anything that's particularly heavy firepower going on here, but we certainly have the ability to take anything they can throw at us. Alright, we've got destroyers. Good old armor piercing. That's a lot of armor piercing. Move through cover. Canticles of the Omnissiah. 17% damage reduction. 24 health. 6 armor. Very bulky. What? They can be... Very bulky implies that they can be transported. Can a plane pick these guys up? I don't know, but these guys are going to be my city breakers, I feel. Come to think of it, let's go ahead and compare the numbers there. Well, we can't. Can we just... Are we allowed to preview the damage numbers here? We're not. Okay. Screw me, then. Alright. Helican. We will go ahead and order another set of Cataphren destroyers, because these guys seem like they will be useful in the future. The Helldrake has decided to leave! It does not like what we have selling! Oh, we're never going to sell out. Who am I kidding? I've already sold out. Okay. Let's see here. Nothing really needs to be done. Move the Cataphren destroyers up to the front line. Gonna have to make some space for these boys. But they're gonna be contributing quite a bit to my efforts, I feel. Okay, Helican. We probably need to start putting some buildings in Output Cam 8 that produce units, come to think of it, as the war effort picks up. Which, let's see, here in Helican, we're going to soon want to get to work on a airport of some kind. However, we are still suffering from minerals, so let's try and get our mineral count above 40 if we can help it. Which, what's the population cap looking like in Helican? It's already just about capped out. That is unfortunate, so we're going to have to work on that soon. Output Cam 8 is about to put its loyalty building in, and then we will get to work on the population cap building there. Now, let's see. I believe that in the research tree, at the end of the research tree, there is, yes, Icons of the Omnissiah, a loyalty boosting tech. That will be a very good one when we get to it. Okay, we've researched our fighter plane thing. Whatever weird deal that is, where it's got the leather wings. It's creepy, honestly. Okay, let's see. We're going to have to make some space for these Cataphren destroyers. So we'll be moving our Skitarii out of the way. The Cybernetica Datasmith will have to move out of the way a little bit. That's a little bit annoying, but what can you do? And we will have the Castellan move back a tad. He has a range of 2 on his little arm guns, so it's not the end of the world if he has to shoot from the back. Output Cam 8 is going to need to put in a population cap building, so we will be doing just that to prevent the population growth from slowing down and potentially causing future population issues like we see in Helican, which is a much older city than Output Cam 8, yet has a just about equal population. Speaking of population, we're going to have to put another population cap building in here, but we are out of minerals, despite having produced another mineral-producing building. That is unfortunate. Okay. Solar reflectors. We will take that for energy. That would be quite good. That would save me a bit of trouble not having to produce as many energy buildings to get as much out of those investments. Alright, the Cataphrone Destroyers will be camping out here. Cybernetic Adedismiths and all these boys that I have moved will be camping out until I am ready to move them up. Helican is finally ready to put in a population cap building. I would like to put in an airport soon as well. Let's see, the airport would cost 80 minerals, that is a not insignificant amount, and 3 energy, which is also not an insignificant amount. But we will be able to afford that pretty soon. I envy the Necrons for how they can just have their hero units account for the population cap instead. I envy the Space Marines and Tau being able to just print out loyalty from their heroes. Oh, he's back! Oh, he's dead! Oh my god, a Mechanicus killed him. That horrible robot hellbeast got shot down by a nerd with a pistol. Well, with a pencil. It might as well be a pencil. Might as well be that nerd just saw a horrible robot dragon flying overhead and just flung a pencil at it, and that was enough. That killed it. Good lord. Yes, sir, a promotion for you, Mr. Mechanicus, sir. Let's see, if I upgrade Electroshocked, it only reduces the cooldown. Nonetheless, the ability to stun someone every turn seems like it would have good potential for cheese. That sounds like it could be disgusting. Nonetheless, we will instead choose to invest in Tech Adept level 3. Oh, the Dominus was not in range to get the XP off of that dead Helldrake. That's unfortunate. Okay, here up in Output Cam 8, we will go ahead and get to work on, let's see, we've got population cap up, we've got our loyalty up. We're going to need more energy, however, especially with the investments I plan to make in terms of flight. So let's get to work on that. And with that, I am good to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I feel that I've done quite a bit in this episode, and I am glad to be back to Mechanicus. I forgot how much I love these guys once they hit the mid to late game. And it starts to pay off being pedantic and taking your time and being very careful with your city management. It feels very rewarding for how I love to have my cities organized. On that note, I will see you folks later.